Reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no.
It is now 6:30 and time for the news. A very pleasant morning to you and welcome now to the news right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. It's Thursday, November 2. I am Leon Nash. Here are the headlines. Flood warning continued for flood-prone areas of some parishes. Building codes being revised. Pleads for roads to be cleared to help farmers following quake. Push for stronger exports in the mining industry. Students benefiting from MOU between Caribbean Maritime University and Carnival Cruise Lines. And in sports, the quarterfinalists in the Corporate Air Manning Cup have been decided after yesterday's return matches. This morning's newscast brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
This is NRP Media, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitation.
Radio listener, here is another opportunity to join the NRP family and good morning to you and welcome now to the details of the news right here on NRP Media and NRP Radio. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica has continued the flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine, effective until 5 p.m. today. A broad area of low pressure currently located across the central Caribbean continues to produce a large area of cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms and is expected to linger across the region through to Friday. The forecast is for mostly cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms, which could be heavy at times, to continue affecting mainly eastern and central parishes through to Friday, especially during the afternoons and continuing into the nights. Due to persistent rainfall across sections of eastern parishes and St. Catherine over the past few days and the likely soil saturation, any additional rainfall could result in flash flooding and possible landslides. A flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible and residents are advised to take precautionary measures. Keep informed by listening to further releases from the Meteorological Service of Jamaica and be ready for quick action if a flooding is observed or if a warning is issued. In other news, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica (BSJ) is undertaking a revision of the building codes through funding of $1. News of the revision of the codes comes on the heels of Monday's 5.6 magnitude earthquake that led to focus on Jamaica's building codes. Some calls have been made in the context of more high-rise buildings going up. Director of Standards BSJ Julia Bonner-Duet says that the BSJ is also receiving funding to update the codes through the Planning Institute of Jamaica. She was speaking during a meeting of the National Disaster Management Council on Tuesday, a day after the earthquake at the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development on Haggard Park Road in Kingston. Ms. Bonner-Duet stated that a total of 11 codes are being revised. The director informed that the codes are referenced in the Building Act, with the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development responsible to monitoring the implementation of the codes. And farmers in parts of rural St. Andrew are facing difficulties accessing their farms and bringing out their crops. President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, JAS, Lenworth Fulton, says road blockages and landslides have resulted from Monday's earthquake in East and West Upper St. Andrew. He said the crops most affected were coffee, banana, and some vegetables, and he's calling on the authorities to help clear the roadways to allow access for the farmers to their farms.
The recent earthquake have caused significant damage to roadways in areas like eastern and western St. Andrew, mostly in the coffee belt. They have had blockages, slides, which now affect their access to their farms and impede them from getting out their produce, which is mostly coffee. In these areas, bananas and plantain, and a number of the exotic vegetables like kale. They also do lettuce, cabbage, pak choy, carrot, scallion and thyme in these areas as well. And they're having a problem with the access.
That was JAS President Lenworth Fulton. Meanwhile, a few roads in East Rural St. Andrew remains blocked or difficult to navigate following Monday's earthquake and subsequent prolonged rainfall in those areas. The National Works Agency NWA Wednesday afternoon said 3 corridors were impassable at this time. These were the roads from Pepin to Bulbay, which is being impacted by large boulders. They stretch from Pepin to Red Light and Hardley Crossing, St. Thomas. The Hollywell Road is being blocked by a massive landslide while Hardley Crossing was flooded. The NWA said it was seeking to get special equipment to blocked sections of the roads in St. Andrew. The NWA also said it was continuing its efforts along the Mahogany Vale to Hagley Gap corridor, as well as the road from Bethel to Richmond Gap in St. Thomas. Students are already benefiting under an agreement between Carnival Cruise Line and Caribbean Maritime University CMU that provides maritime training and job opportunities to local students. The agreement set out in a Memorandum of Understanding MOU is being hailed by parent company Carnival Corporation as a signal of its commitment to and confidence in Jamaica. We now go to this report from Gafar Ellis. And we're just having a slight difficulty getting this story to play, but let's see if we can get to it quickly. I think we're there now.
Under the Memorandum of Understanding, 45 maritime students at the Kingston-based Caribbean Maritime University will receive at-sea experience with Carnival over the next 3 years. The first placement of students was made at the start of the present academic year in September. The MOU will also see scholarship opportunities provided by Carnival as well as familiarization tours on ships whenever they dock in Jamaica, and will explore the possibility of upgrading the CMU's bridge simulator. Carnival Corporation's Vice President of Crew and Travel Operations, Richard Brearley, in noting that the MOU applies to all brands under the company, tells JIS News that the students will work in the hotel, deck and engine areas. For her part, Chief Human Resource Officer of Carnival Corporation, Bettina Daines, says the MOU is also linked to the CMU's goal to train 4,000 students per year and provide jobs for graduates. He notes that the intention is for CMU students to eventually gain employment on ships within the Carnival fleet. The president of the CMU, Professor Andrew Spencer, agreed that the MOU with Carnival is a major plus that will bring long-term benefits for Jamaica. Carnival vessels have been calling on Jamaica since 1972 and now brings nearly 400,000 visitors a year. I am Gafar Ellis for NRP News.
Thank you, Gafar. And continuing the news here on NRP Media and NRP Radio. You're listening to the news, your primary Christian source for news, the sports and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. This information package is brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They're located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica. Continuing the news now, Jamaica's exports of limestone have nearly doubled in the last year, but Mining Minister Floyd Green is not satisfied and is pushing harder for a policy to the growing mining sector. Speaking at the post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, Mr. Green said he wanted to push growth even more, given the demand for some products such as limestone. He said he had asked the team of the Ministry of Mining to help develop an industrial minerals policy that should be to get more sustainable growth, including new markets.
So while we do have a mining policy, industrial minerals speak to on our mining sector to facilitate growth and to identify new markets. In fact, I have tasked the team at the ministry to come to cabinet with a submission around the development of an industrial minerals policy. So while we do have a mining policy, industrial minerals speak to those things such as limestone, which we have seen a tremendous increase in demand. And it's very, very important that we have the policy framework to facilitate its sustainable growth.
That was Mining Minister, that should be Mining and Agriculture Minister, Floyd Green. That's the local news. Now for the latest weather report and forecast right here inside of this newscast. And bringing it now to the latest news from the National Met Service. The Met Service is reporting that there is a significant feature of a trough across the Central Caribbean, including Jamaica. The trough is expected to linger across the island for the next several days. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, expect partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly across eastern parishes. This afternoon to evening, cloudy with periods of showers and thunderstorms across most parishes. In the 3-day forecast after tomorrow, Friday, Saturday through to Sunday. On Friday and Saturday, expect partly cloudy conditions in the morning, occasional showers and thunderstorms mainly across the central and western parishes and hilly areas in the afternoon. Sunday, partly cloudy in the morning, isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly across western parishes in the afternoon. Minimum temperature expected for Kingston tonight, 24 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature expected for Montego Bay tonight, 25 degrees Celsius. That is our latest weather information inside the NRP Break of Day news package this morning. And now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Seretsu Communications, connecting homes, connecting lives, connecting multiple platforms through convergence. Check them today by calling 876-333-1927 or 876-333-1926. Seretsu Communications. Seretsu Communications. We are here to serve you better. And now for your sports stories. The quarterfinalists in the corporate era Manning Cup have been decided after yesterday's return matches. Defending champions Jamaica College laid down an impressive aggregate score, getting by Eltham High 6-1 to take one of the quarterfinal spots in Group 2. St. Andrew Technical, a hot favorite this year, spanked Kingston Technical 7-0 on the day for an 11-0 aggregate score to take its spot in Group 1. Other teams in Group 1 are Mona High, Kingston College, and St. Catherine High. Joining JC in Group 2 are St. George's College, Tivoli Gardens High, and Hydel High. And Sports Administrator Gibbs Williams was hailed on Wednesday at a memorial service at the G.C. Foster College, where he served as vice principal. Mr. Williams was shot to death on Wednesday, October 6 in Portmore, St. Catherine. 2 men have been charged for his murder. Or on this story in our evening roundup. That is sports in our break of day package, brought to you by Ceretsu Communications, connecting homes, connecting lives, connecting multiple platforms through convergence. Check them today by calling 876-333-1927. Ceretsu Communications. We are here to serve you and serve you better.
Listener, welcome to NRP Sports 365 right here on Nrpmediaja.com with Lennox Christie and Omar Oxley. Hear them give you the sports of the day and interesting happenings as they arise. Tune in to NRP Radio, hear the stories and enjoy the excitement. Every Saturday and Tuesday afternoon right here on Nrpmediaja.com. Tune in. The National Religious Partnership NRP Media, the managing company or owners and operators of NRP Media.
By our time is now 6:47. We take you now overseas for the international news, courtesy of the Voice of America. The Voice of America is our international partner, and we take you now to them with the latest news from the international scene.
This is VOA News. I'm Richard Green. As the war between Israel and Hamas reaches its 1-month anniversary, U.S. President Joe Biden is now calling for a humanitarian pause in the fighting. Here's AP correspondent Ben Thomas.
The president was speaking to a room full of supporters at a election fundraiser Wednesday night. Mr. interrupted, calling for a ceasefire. Biden responded by saying, "I think we need a pause." White House officials later said a break in fighting would allow more aid to get into Gaza and create a possibility for more hostages held by Hamas to be freed. Earlier in the day, Biden spoke about aid.
The United States is going to provide humanitarian support for innocent people in Gaza who need help, and they do need help.
And hostages.
My administration continues to work around the clock to reunite those families. We're not going to give up.
The call for a pause was a subtle departure for Biden and White House aides who've been steadfast in saying they would not dictate how Israel carries out its military operations against Hamas. I'm Ben Thomas.
President Biden's remarks came after Israeli airstrikes hit Gaza's largest refugee camp for a second consecutive day. Gaza's Hamas-run government said the airstrikes on a Jabalia refugee camp Tuesday and Wednesday killed 195 Palestinians. The militant group says at least 777 people were wounded in the attacks, while 120 are still missing. Israel said 2 Hamas military leaders were killed in the airstrikes. UNICEF, the United Nations aid agency for children, issued a statement Wednesday saying the scenes of carnage coming out of Jabalia following the attacks are horrific and appalling. UNICEF said an average of 400 children have been killed or injured on a daily basis after 25 days of ongoing airstrikes. It reiterated its urgent call for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. This is VOA News.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest from the Voice of America, and we want to invite you to continue to listen to this station, NRP Radio. Throughout the course of the day, you'll hear more from the Voice of America. And now, before we go, here are the headlines once again. Flash flood warning continued for flood-prone areas of some parishes. Building codes being revised. Pleads for roads to be cleared to help farmers following quake. Push for stronger exports in the mining industry. Students benefiting from MOU between Caribbean Maritime University and Carnival Cruise Lines. And in sports, the quarterfinalists in the Corporate Era Manning Cup have been decided after yesterday's return matches. The news today came to you courtesy of Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glass in stock, gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
Thank you very much, and we invite you to join us again this evening at 6:30 for the evening roundup of the NRP News. I am Leon Nash. We thank you so much for joining us. Have for yourselves a wonderful day.
I see, you beat him, box him, kick him, and come dead.
Radio listener, here is another opportunity to join the NRP family and stay for the fellowship in word, features, and music 24/7. Yes, every Tuesday night, Minister Richard Sutton, one of our newest connecting partner, will be right here on the NRP brand with gospel praise 9 to 10:30 p.m. and then rejoin us at 11 p.m. Tuesday nights to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It will be 3.5 hours of word of encouragement, delving into the scripture with regular readings, prayer, and interaction with you listening on the World Wide Web. Yes, it's Gospel Expression Radio, located at Hempstead in the Nassau County of New York, teaming up with the National Religious Partnership Media and Radio, Tuesdays 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It's a partnership like never before, with NRP Radio reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.